Locker room talk is the root of so many evils.
Locker room talk legitimizes the assault and rape and long-term psychological damage of us women.
Locker room talk is why we are scared to go out alone at night.
Locker room talk is why Brock Turner served his pathetic sentence.
Locker room talk is why this generation of young women is the most anxious and medicated in history.
Locker room talk is why we need to hold our keys like a weapon when we walk home alone at night.
Locker room talk convinces him that power over us is what it means to be a man. Locker room talk convinces him that violence towards us is what it means to be a man.
Locker room talk is the pinnacle of masculinity that they must aspire to or else be pussies and faggots.
Locker room talk makes pornography.
Locker room talk waxes and strips cunts red raw.
Locker room talk designs our cunts by hand and entitles he who did so to service himself with it.
Locker room talk shoves great mounds of silicone inside our breasts and then scolds us for doing so.
Locker room talk makes male dominance the aspiration and daily blowjob service the expectation.
Locker room talk mashes our heads into stiff cocks covered with as much hair as he pleases.
Locker room talk makes our genitalia into the worst insult.
Locker room talk makes comic books and movies that aren't about anyone who exists.
Locker room talk makes all the awful television shows that aren't about anyone who exists.
Locker room talk airbrushes us out of reality.
Locker room talk makes a new reality that no woman really wants to be living in.
Locker room talk designs clothes that don't alter, but that make us alter.
Locker room talk writes music with a beat not even half as sick as those that we endure.
Locker room talk creates industries that profit solely off of telling us how wrong we are.
Locker room talk sells diet pills.
Locker room talk taxes tampons.
Locker room talk makes us into mad women, when in fact we are clever and fucking furious.
Fucking furious.
Locker room talk degrades us when we're bleeding and when we're barren.
Locker room talk sells him roofies and dissolves them into our vodka and slimline tonics over ice.
Locker room talk rapes.
Locker room talk puts them in their place and makes them put us in ours.
Locker room talk prioritizes prostate cancer over any and all female-specific cancer.
Locker room talk turns lesbians into the playthings of straight men.
Locker room talk assaults and murders gay and queer men.
Locker room talk caused the AIDS epidemic and still refuses to cure
Locker
it.
room talk assaults and murders transgender women.
Locker room talk correctively rapes lesbians.
Locker room talk writes more bills about us than anyone else.
Locker room talk penetrates the law with its Viagra-fueled erections.
Locker room talk has put a rapist in the White House.
Locker room talk has put a rapist in the White House. Locker room talk grabs us by the pussies every single day. Locker room locker room.
Locker room talk makes everything legitimate.
Locker room talk endangers us.
Locker room talk makes everything legitimate.
Locker room talk endangers us.
Locker room talk murders us.
Locker room talk makes everything legitimate.
Everything
Locker room
legitimate.
talk makes everything legitimate. Everything.
everything.